Football, the Unyielding Card Master Strikes Back. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 31. The game continues. Both sides showed great defensive prowess in the time that followed. In particular, Healing, which has a solid defense, still maintains a high level of defense with one less. And Seneca gradually found its form under the leadership of Maine. Attention, keep up with me. Maine was up front with the ball in front, with one hand raised and organizing the attack. The state of the whole team has gradually improved, the attack is orderly, and the defense is strong. Although there is no advantage in height, physical fitness and speed also make Healing very headache. Shout. Maine pushed forward with the ball, followed by a couple of center backs and two wingers in front, and rushed together to the opposing half. This oppressive force is very terrifying. Press forward a little. Don't let them into the restricted area. Up, up, up. Go grab the ball and keep an eye on Maine. The head coach of Healing was a little anxious, shouting loudly outside the field. Especially after seeing Maine getting better and better, he was even more angry. He knew that once this kind of thing rose, it would be an infinite power. There may be a miracle, and defeat will turn victory. Diata. Maine split the ball and sent it to the right wing. Immediately afterwards, he suddenly accelerated, quickly thrust forward, like a sharp knife, and pierced into the opponent's forbidden area. Boom. After Diata took the ball, he also swayed and made a bicycle movement, shaking past the defenders of Healing Country. Without the slightest hesitation, Diata crossed and found the high point of the penalty area. Because Healing's defensive players are too dense, the passing route on the ground has almost been blocked. Diata is a very good winger who can judge the best pass route in an instant. Although Healing has a height advantage, with Maine's personal ability, it is not impossible to fight. Shout. The football streaks high in the air and comes above Maine. There is a quick fall. Roar. Maine roared and jumped high. At the same time, the defenders in front of Healing's goal also jumped up and competed for this high point together. Three people jumping at the same time. Boom. Maine touched the football and the football immediately changed direction. Shout. The football rushed to the top left corner of the goal. Come in. You must enter. Boom. The football smashed on the border and bounced out. Ugh. The players of Seneca suddenly showed a look of loss. The ball was almost scored and rushed into the dead corner of the goal. It's just a pity. It's a little bit worse. This is not Maine's problem. After all, it is already very remarkable to be able to grab a high penalty when several people are watching. It must be said that it can only be said that the luck of Senegal is slightly worse. However, this threatening attack made the players of Healing Country feel a layer of gloom in their hearts. Beep. At this time, Jiang Ning suddenly blew the whistle. The players looked towards Jiang Ning and saw Jiang Ning stretching out his finger to the outside of the field, signaling Healing to make a substitution request. This is a backup player. He is about to replace a midfielder in Healing. This move is actually not difficult to understand, because the second half of the game has been going on so far. It has been almost 20 minutes. It should not be more than half an hour before the end of the game, even if injury time is included. At this time, the midfield will be replaced and the position of the back will be increased, which is intended to change the formation and change tactics. Obviously, they gave up control of the ball in midfield and focused more on defense. On the sidelines, the head coach of Healing quickly explained to the players who were about to play. After you go up, tell those defenders not to be afraid of fouls. Compared to eating cards, Maine's state is the most terrible. There is no relaxation in the confrontation against Maine. If necessary, use one of you to fight Maine. The player nodded with a grim look in his eyes. The head coach means that when necessary, you can hit hard. As long as Maine can leave injured, what if they are sent off? In Maine's absence, it will be difficult for Senegal to organize a powerful attack. Beep. Jiang Ning blew the whistle, and after the substitution, the game continued. Healing held the ball, and their advance was greatly hindered by the lack of a man in the midfield. Although it is only a position adjustment, the tactical impact on the whole team is great. Seneca pressed high, and soon the ball was snatched from the feet of the understaffed Healing International. The football was once again at Maine's feet. Maine did not rush to attack, but directed his teammates to press hard. Boom. Continuing to split the side, this time, Maine gave the ball to the left wing. The defenders of Healing Country surrounded and followed Maine's side. The new teammates have already relayed the manager's deployment to them, so now they know exactly what they need to do. That's keeping an eye on Maine. At this point, Sal holds the ball on the left wing. The teammates immediately stepped forward to meet and cooperate with them, trying to open the defense line of Healing Country. Boom. At this moment, Sal deceived the opponent with a feint and picked the ball into the air. Shout. Almost instantly, Maine was already launched. This is consciousness. The moment his teammate stepped out, he already had the trajectory route of the football in his mind, and he instantly inserted forward. Damn it. The defender in charge of keeping an eye on Maine immediately went up, and at the same time, he also made a small pulling motion on his hand. I saw his hand, leaning out from behind Maine, and grabbed Maine's eyes. Maine suddenly screamed in pain and fell down. The eye is a very fragile place and can easily cause irreversible damage. This manual action of the defensive player is completely malicious damage. Beep. Jiang Ning blew the whistle and showed him a yellow card. However, this is only a foul in the process of competing for football, and although it is said to occur in the box, it is not enough to award a penalty. Jiang Ning's whistle made several defenders tighten. This is already the 6th yellow card of Healing Country. Today, they have 4 defenders, each with a yellow card on their backs. As long as they dare to make any moves, they will immediately face the situation of being sent off. Jiang Ning glanced at them sharply, which was a warning in his eyes. Immediately afterwards, Jiang Ning asked Main's situation and whether he could continue the game. I can keep playing. Next, I'm afraid they won't dare to foul again, right? As long as there is a fair penalty, I will not back down because I am targeted. Main stood up with a smile. Although the corners of his eyes were swollen, the smile on his face became more and more blazing. Episode 32. Main was injured but continued to play. This is the spirit of football. As long as there is still a little strength, I will give it my all. After Jiang Ning nodded, he blew the whistle to continue the game. Because the pass just now was destroyed, the attack was also terminated by Main's injury, so it was an out-of-bounds ball for Senegal. At this time, the 4 defenders gathered. Now all 4 of us have yellow cards, and if there is another foul, we will be sentenced. In that case, it is better to replace Main with a person according to what the coach said. As long as he can't continue playing, our mission is complete. We still have a 2-goal advantage. Without Main, with our defense, we can keep it. The 4 of them looked at each other, and their eyes became grim. Although we won't be able to play in the next game, at least we can save this win for the team and we can go further. It's so decided, for the team, for the honor of the country. Good. Fight it. Several people discussed tactics. Winning the World Cup is the supreme honor that all teams aspire to. In order to compete for the championship, many teams will use some dirty tactics. At this time, the out-of-bounds ball of Seneca was also thrown and the football came to the feet of Diata. Diata and Main are old partners, and the cooperation between the two is also extremely tacit. Diata had made several passes to Main before, playing a number of extremely threatening attacks. So as soon as they saw Diata take the ball, the defenders of Healing Country became vigilant and followed Main one after another. Diata frowned when he saw Main being stared at, and did not pass the ball right away, but went looking for other opportunities. Hey! Diata, give it to me. However, at this time, Main reached for the ball at Diata. The reason why Main can dare to ask for the ball is naturally because Jiang Ning is there. He is fearless. Targeted? It's okay, then you guys just wait for the end. Shout. Diata's steps changed, and after a false kick, he sent the ball out and passed it to Main. Boom. Main lifted his foot to stop the ball, launched quickly, and his strong personal manpower was vividly demonstrated in this moment. He rushed to the goal of Healing Country. Behind him, there are 3 defenders chasing, and in front of him, there are also 2 enemies intercepting. A confident smile lit up at the corner of Main's mouth. This feeling of long lost made him full of fighting spirit, and the whole person's state was surprisingly good. I saw that he was rushing to the 2 defenders in front of him with the ball, and there was not even a hint of slowing down under his feet. Immediately afterwards, in their shocked eyes, the toes were slightly picked. Shout. The football was provoked by the agility and directly past the other party, and taking advantage of this effort, Main has bypassed them and come behind them. At this time, the football also landed steadily and landed at the feet of Main. Wow! The audience erupted into an exclamation. Beautiful, imaginative and bold to pick the ball. You must know that this is in the World Cup. Such an action is very risky, and it is easy to be snatched down, but Main did just that. This is enough to show how relaxed and confident Main is at this time. After passing 2 defenders, Main continued to rush in with the ball and went straight into the box. The 2 defenders who were left behind were furious. They felt a hot look on their faces, and Main didn't put them in his eyes at all. So, several people hurriedly chased after them, and their eyes were also fierce. Can't catch up, he's too fast. Already within his range, he could hit the door at any time. Do it. Just as Main was getting closer and closer to the penalty area, the Healing defense defenders behind him also made up their minds. Crash! A flying shovel, shoveled from behind Main. Sharp studs are revealed. And what is even more frightening is that this flying shovel is not going towards the ball at all, but at the heel of Main. This defender is obviously open-minded. He's going to replace Main with himself. Moreover, the most extreme means were used. Don't. After the fans in the stands saw this scene, they subconsciously screamed. Main, Diata roared, shouting reminders. But how fast is the flying shovel? That's a split second. And it happened behind Main. How could he predict it? At the critical moment, Main's face also changed. He has a strong sense of the ball and a certain perception of the movements behind him. I can keenly feel the change in the footsteps of several people behind me. So just when the sole of the other party's shoe was about to hit him, he quickly dodged it. But despite this, he only reluctantly avoided the important joints, and was still hit by sharp studs. Main's whole person flew directly sideways, and then smashed heavily to the ground. He covered his right foot in pain and rolled on the ground. Beep. Jiang Ning whistled instantly. His expression was cold, and for such a bad foul, he did not choose a yellow card, but directly took out a red card. Get down. The defender also knew that he was at a loss, and did not dare to say anything at all, and walked off the court with his head bowed amid the cursing in the sky. For him, what he will face will be a huge fine and a long period of ban, and most importantly, his chances of making a mark in this World Cup have become minimal. Beep. Jiang Ning blew the whistle and immediately beckoned to the team doctor of Seneca country, signaling them to hurry up and get on the field. In fact, there was no need for Jiang Ning to remind him. The team doctor had already prepared a stretcher, quickly rushed up, and began to examine Main. At this time, Main fell to the ground in pain, and the corners of his eyes were already swollen, and his face was even more hideous because of the severe pain. His right foot was already covered in blood, which stained his stockings and stained the grass. The team doctor cut his socks, and a hideous wound was revealed. Hiss. The team doctor and the players are gasping. The wound is not small. Such an injury can be said to be extremely serious. But fortunately, at the crucial moment, Maine made a dodge move. Otherwise, this flying shovel is bound to hurt his bones. If it really hurts his ankle bone, then Maine may really miss this World Cup. Although it is cruel, this is football, and while it is full of blood and expectations, there are also people who leave irreparable regrets. Maine, your injuries are serious. Please bandage me and help me deal with it simply. What? Your current situation, my advice is to take a break. I said, doctor, please bandage me. I can still keep playing. The team doctor looked shocked, but looking at Maine's firm eyes, he swallowed the words back abruptly. Are you sure you can continue to compete? At this time, Jiang Ning asked with a frown. Referee, I can. Maine raised his head and barely squeezed a smile out of Jiang Ning. His eyes were so hot, so hopeful. No matter what kind of predicament you are in, as long as you can still run, you must stand on the field to play for the team and strive for the honor of the motherland. Episode 33, Huaxia Studio. Sudong, look. Maine was injured by a flying shovel. Sudong, this foul is too bad. Wu Lei, so everyone can see that Jiang Ning directly showed the red card. Sudong, Maine seems to be seriously injured and does not know if he can continue the next game. Sudong, Wu Lei, what do you think of such a foul? Is this a tactical foul? Wu Lei, it can't be regarded as a tactical foul, but a malicious foul. Even for tactical purposes, they are severely punished. Wu Lei, you must know that such an action is likely to ruin a player's career. Wu Lei, there have been examples of football players who were injured by flying shovels and finally had to retire, which is very bad. Sudong, indeed, Healing was foul this time is a scoundrel. Wu Lei, still that sentence, in the World Cup, for the honor of the country, everyone is very hard. Sudong, yes, but at least we still have Jiang Ning. Sudong, every foul he makes, he will be punished as he deserves. Sudong, football is a sport, and Jiang Ning is the light that guards the field. At this time, inside the playing field, Senegalese players have stepped forward to be concerned about Maine's situation. The team doctor stopped and bandaged Maine, who stood up with the help of his teammates. Immediately afterward, he let go of his teammates and tried to jump a few times. Although the wound was still painful enough to make him frown, he still said he could keep playing. Referee, I really can. Please let me keep playing. Maine said to Jiang Ning. Jiang Ning took a deep look at Maine and nodded slowly. He is the referee and does not intervene in the player's decision until necessary. Beep. So, Jiang Ning blew the whistle and signaled the game to continue. Because of the malicious foul of Healing, Seneca got a well-placed free kick opportunity. This position, just outside the penalty area, faces the Healing national goal. At this time, Healing, because he was sent off by Jiang Ning again, there were only 8 team members left in the field, and even De Jong and Depay had to come back and form a human wall. Leave it to me. At this point, Maine walked towards the position of the free kick. Originally, the ball was given to Diata to take the penalty. Diata looked up and asked, is your foot okay? As a teammate, he is worried about whether Maine's foot injury will be completed. It was a great opportunity and a chance to score. My right foot hurts, but I still have my left foot. I finally met such a referee. And this is an opportunity one have been waiting for a long, long time. I don't want to give up. I'm going to fight with my brothers on the pitch. So, trust me. As Maine spoke, his eyes were brighter than ever. Diata was deeply shocked. Yes, he was shocked by Maine's words. A look. This man, with determined eyes that he had never had before, was looking at himself. I believe in you, and it's my honor to be teammates with you. Saying that, Diata slowly took a few steps back. Wow. Seeing that Maine was about to take this free kick, the audience was in an uproar. Nope. He was injured so badly, could it really be? Don't get hurt anymore. Maine, let's not win. Shall we go home? Maine, don't fight like that. We know you've done your best. Feeling the concern of the fans, Maine raised his head and looked around and put his fist on his chest. This gesture represents gratitude, but also represents, please believe in me. The scene fell silent, and many fans had moist eyes and prayed silently. Beep. Jiang Ning blew the whistle, signaling that he could make a free throw. Maine adjusted his breathing, his gaze fierce. At this moment, he forgot the grievances in his heart and forgot the pain that his body brought him. In his eyes, there is only Healing goal. Stand back, lean over, run, lift your feet. Volley, boom. Maine's left instep volleyed the football, and the football flew high. After completing this shot, Maine also fell heavily to the ground. The injury to his right foot made him unable to stay on his feet at the moment of shooting. Shout. The football spins violently, trembling at an extremely fast frequency in the air. Wow. The whole audience stood up sharply. No matter which side the fans are, they all show a nervous look at this moment. Shout. The football first grazed the heads of the defenders at the very edge of the human wall. When the defender reacted and subconsciously made a top ball action, the football had already skimmed within his reach. The ball is so fast, more than his brain can react. Immediately after, the football goes straight to the top left corner of the goal. The goalkeeper of Heelan country quickly jumped up and reached out to pounce on the football. It's just that according to the path of the football at this time, it should be higher than the beam with the naked eye. Ah, no. The players of Senegal roared in despair. Could it be that the opportunity that Maine fought with his life would end in failure? Unwillingly, really unwilling, shout. However, just when they were about to despair, the football that was about to fly off the crossbar had a rapid fall. What? This can't be. The Heelan goalkeeper screamed. This ball turned out to be playing in a longitudinal S-shaped route. Swish. Football on the net. 2:1. Jiang Ning pointed forward with his arm to indicate that the goal was effective. The score was rewritten. Rumble. The audience erupted into a deafening roar. The players and fans of Senegal are roaring madly and roaring up to the sky. Finally, scored. This goal contains too much. It not only rewrote the score, but also told the world the indomitable will of the new king of Africa. This is what football should look like. When Maine saw the goal, he rolled over and fell to his knees. Immediately afterwards, under the gaze of all the fans, he kissed the green grass under his feet affectionately. He is expressing his love for this field with his actions and never giving up on football. At this moment, Maine cried. His eyes were filled with tears. All the grievances and anger were vented at this moment. It's all worth it. Targeted, suppressed, bullied, he fought back with a brilliant goal. The Seneca fans all stood up and sang the national anthem in unison. Both male and female fans cried into tears. At this point, it doesn't matter how the game is won or lost. The important thing is that Maine did it, with a wonderful goal, kicked through the darkness. Woohoo! Maine, you're good. Your blood didn't flow in vain, you really did it. We will always love you as much as you love football forever. Episode 34. The score has finally been rewritten. At Maine's insistence, with a serious injury to his right foot, he still kicked a delicate free kick. Inside the Huasha studio, Sudong, the ball is in. Nice free kick. Sudong, audience friends, it's hard for me to express to you how excited I am at this time. Sudong, I believe that this goal is wonderful enough to become a world-class goal. Wu Lei, yes, this goal also tells us that football is always a sport full of blood. Wu Lei, Maine never gives up and expresses all this in the best way. Sudong, the goal this time is because of Jiang Ning's iron-blooded judgment. Sudong, Jiang Ning is good. Maine is so good. Sudong, okay, let's also take a look at the barrage from the fans of Huasha. At this time, the barrage in the Huasha live broadcast room also exploded. Maine, well done. The goal is the best counterattack. When Maine cried and kissed the ground just now, I cried too. It's really not easy for Maine over the years. Fortunately we have Jiang Ning, and his penalty made Maine believe in the light again. Brother Ning has become someone that fans all over the world will be grateful for. At this time, the audience in the live broadcast room saw this scene and boiled. Although the Huasha team did not stand on the field, but the referee from Huasha was standing on the court at this time to enforce the law. His performance has been recognized by everyone present, by the stars, and by the fans watching the game from all over the world. On the playing field, the country of Senegal celebrated wildly, while the country of Heelan was silent, especially the players of Heelan country. Although they still had a one-goal lead at this time, their inner defense had been broken by this free kick. They have already done their best, and even used such bad means that even their teammates have been sentenced to 2 people. In the end, it was still Maine who broke the goal. This cast a haze over their hearts. Ha ha ha. Good sample, Maine. At this time, the Seneca player rushed over and hugged Maine. However, they were also careful when hugging, for fear of hurting Maine's right foot again. Okay, the game is not over yet, don't relax. Maine reminded and immediately organized his teammates to return to defense. Beep. Jiang Ning blows the whistle. The game continues. At this point, there are still 10 minutes to go before the end of the game, and the result is still full of endless possibilities. The Heelan players adjusted their condition, and the midfielders kept the ball firmly at their feet, appearing very cautious, because they only had 9 people left, including the goalkeeper. Moreover, the players who were sent off were defensive players, which was a big blow to Heelangua's defense. So in order to maintain the advantage, a midfielder also retired to the back position to assist in defense. But in this way, their ability to control the ball in the midfield is weakened, and whether they can keep the ball is a problem, let alone push forward. The Seneca players immediately stepped forward to press on. The hardest ones are Sal and Diata. Now that Maine is injured, they want to reduce the distance he runs as much as possible. Damn it. At this time, the Heelan national midfielder made a mistake at his feet, and the route of the football return pass was seen through by Sal and snatched down. Maine and Diata quickly ran, ready to take over. However, although Maine insisted on playing, the injury affected his speed and could no longer pose as strong a threat as before. Moreover, the defenders of Heelangua are also very cautious, and the position is relatively low. This also makes it impossible for Maine and Diata to form a single knife with a quick attack. Shout. In desperation, Sal deflected the ball and passed it to the feet of Diata on the right. As soon as Diata got the ball, two defenders set their sights on Main. However, just when they were a little hesitant to make some small movements to interfere with Main, a figure came into their eyes. It's Jiang Ning. As the referee, Jiang Ning will naturally have his own prejudgment. He saw that when there was a possibility of foul action, it would naturally appear in time. This is also why the players of the Kimchi country before always felt that Jiang Ning was staring at them like a ghost. At this time, the defensive players of Heelan country also had this illusion. Damn it, this referee is terrible. It's a ghost. We all have yellow cards on our backs. Don't think about any small gestures, otherwise if we are sent off again, the game will be lost. With such a referee here, who dares? I don't want to end up, shout. Dayada did not choose to pass the ball to Main, because he doesn't think the chances are great right now. He doesn't want to see Main get hurt because of it again. Therefore, he handed the ball to his teammates who rushed behind him, and he took the opportunity to break into the penalty area of Heelan country. However, this ball was not successfully passed, and it was intercepted by the players of Heelangwa outside the penalty area. The two sides quickly carry out offensive and defensive conversion. It's just that Heelangwa is weak in midfield at this time, and it is difficult to push the ball to the half of Senegal. So even with De Jong, Depay, and Xavi, there is nothing to achieve. Time passes little by little. At this point, the game is nearing its end. During this time, most of the time, it was Seneca holding the ball, and the army suppressed the half of Heelan country. It was very different from the first half, when Senegal took the initiative. Jiang Ning signaled to the assistant referee, and the second half was 5 minutes of stoppage time. Last 5 minutes. Keep it for me anyway. As long as Dayada has the ball, keep an eye on Main for me. The head coach of Heelangwa roared on the sidelines. He was anxious. There are only 9 people left, and the two main defenders will not be able to participate in the second half of the game. If you can't get 3 points in this game, there is really no way forward. Boom. Seneca is attacking furiously, bombarding the goal of Heelan country. Time is running out. They also expect to score another goal and get this precious point. At the last moment, almost all the players of Heelan country shrank into the penalty area. Sal holds the ball and confronts Xavi. Neither of them obeys the other, and both are fighting against each other through the technology under their feet. Sal pushed in little and along the outside line, closer to the goal. Harvey saw that the situation was not good and kicked the ball out of the bottom line. At this time, the time has also come to the last 10 seconds of injury time. Corner kick. It was also the last corner of the game. This goal represents the end of this game. Dayada walked over to the corner and calmed his heart by taking a deep breath. This is the last chance for the country of Senegal. He has to grasp it. Immediately afterwards, his gaze looked at Main, who was pushing and shoving people in the field. Main, it's up to you. People inside and outside the field hung inside, holding their breath and looking at Main. At this time, he has become the focus of the field, and represents a football spirit. Episode 35. The game went on to the last minute. This is the last corner. Dayada pinned all her hopes on Main, two national team teammates for many years. At the last moment, a glance contact, enough to express everything. Boom. The football flew up, under the penalty of Dayada, and rushed into the air. And Dayada is obviously more powerful with this kick. He wants to send the ball to the right of the goal, not the middle of the goal. It's an adventure, but it's also creating opportunities. Because Main is too eye-catching and will be focused on. So if this goal wants to find Main, you also need Main's cooperation. So at the moment when the football flew out, everyone was looking up at the football looking for the best landing point, but Main broke away from the crowd and ran towards the right side of the goal. This is a pass with a violent rotation, which also has a large change of direction in midair, and the landing point of the ball can easily make people misjudge. Jump. Many players in front of the goal jumped up and down, leaning forward or right according to their own judgment, trying to change the direction of the ball with their heads. Whether it is the players of Heelan country or the players of Seneca country, they have all worked hard at this moment. Shout. The football flew almost against the forehead of a player in Heelan country. This Heelan national player has the best position, and his judgment of the landing point of the football is also the most accurate, which is extremely close to the football, but it's still a little worse. He didn't touch the football, and all the players standing in front of the goal couldn't. The football changed direction slightly at this moment, slightly beyond the range of the goal, and began to fall rapidly. Main, Dayada roared. He did everything he could. Next, it depends on whether Main can seize this opportunity. The football began to fall, but it was still in midair, although it crossed the defenders. But again, the angle of shooting here was affected. The clock is ticking, and you have to shoot the ball in midair. The header is not good, because the ball has already begun to fall. It is not the optimal height for the header, and it is difficult to exert power. But if you wait for the football to land, because time is urgent, 1 or 2 seconds is enough for the opponent to react, and the success rate of shooting will become extremely low. At such a critical moment, Main had already made an instant judgment. Then, after the shocked gazes of all the fans, Main moved. Roar, take off, turn around, and hit the upside-down golden hook. Wow, the audience was in an uproar, and they all stood up. In the final stages of stoppage time, can the last corner really change the ending? Boom. Main hung upside down and smashed his left foot precisely on the rapidly falling football. This ball kicked beautifully. Shout. Immediately afterwards, the football is like a cannonball, with a sonic boom, in front of the defenders. Instantaneous bursts poured over the football, bursting out with tremendous power. The goalkeeper of Heelan country didn't even have time to react. and could only watch the football fly under his armpit. Swish, football on the net. 2:2. Jiang Ning's arm front finger. The goal is effective. Rumble. The whole audience is boiling. Last minute, stoppage time. Main and Diata work together to hit an upside-down golden hook and send the football into the net, which is wonderful. It worked. Main, you really did it. Fantastic. This is the most moving game I've ever seen. The final winner was Main's best goal of the year. Beep. 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 Jiang Ning blew the whistle for the end of the game. This dragon and tiger battle between the uncrowned king and the new king of Africa has come to an end. From a 2-goal lead at the beginning, to being sent off by Jiang Ning by 2. Healingwa's mentality has also changed. They care too much about Main's existence, but forget that with their strength, they can compete fairly with their opponents in the arena and use their real strength to fight their opponents. On the other hand, here in Senegal, Main has been targeted many times, but he still has not forgotten the original appearance of football. With an indomitable will and a never-say-die spirit, he led the Seneca national to a goal. The game ended with both sides scoring a valuable point. Undoubtedly, the price paid by both sides is enormous. Healingwa will face the dilemma that the Main defenders cannot play in the next game, and Seneca are injured by Main, and whether he can start the next game is a question. The audience broke out into warm applause to celebrate the country of Senegal. Healingwa's fans also breathed a sigh of relief. Although they failed to score 3 points, 1 point was already the best result. The players then assembled for a final handshake ceremony. When Main came to Jiang Ning, his eyes were full of reverence and solemnity. It was Jiang Ning who made him stand up again and made him believe that there can be absolute justice on the football field. After the handshake ceremony, the players dispersed, and Jiang Ning also came to the sidelines to check the records with the 4th official. In this game, Jiang Ning showed a total of 6 yellow cards and 1 red card. Compared to other referee matches, this data is really shocking. It also once again let all the players and fans feel the fairness and rigor of this Huaxia referee. Inside the Huaxia studio, Sudong, the game is over. My emotions are a little excited. Sudong, Main's last upside-down golden hook is so wonderful. Sudong, I can be sure that this goal must be one of the best goals of this World Cup. Wu Lei, yes, this ball has high requirements for the player's awareness and physical fitness. Wu Lei, what's more, Main still completed this action with an injury. Sudong, and Jiang Ning's penalty did not disappoint either. Sudong, through the official data, we can see the number of cards played by Jiang Ning in this game. Wu Lei, it is precisely because of Jiang Ning's fair and just judgment that it has brought hope to the Senegalese country. Sudong, okay, we can see that now the picture has been switched, and there is a post-match interview with Main. At this time, Main stood on the sidelines, surrounded by reporters. The reporter highly praised Main's performance. Even if he was injured, he did not want to go to the break. What a sportsmanship it is, definitely worth learning from every player. And Main also recounted his joy. He has not played so hard in a long time. Subsequently, reporter, Main, congratulations on turning things around in this game. Is there anything you would like to say to everyone? I want to thank someone. Main said. Reporter, oh? Who is this person? Is it your old teammate Diata, or your head coach? Main shook his head and said solemnly, no, it's Jiang Ning, the referee from Huaxia. Episode 36. I want to thank the referee Jiang Ning, from Huaxia. Main's eyes were filled with reverence. For him, being able to play a game with his hands and feet free has almost become a luxury. But Jiang Ning's penalty made him find the feeling of playing football. At that time, he was still a teenager, running carefree on the green field. He sweated wantonly and shouted to the sky that he must become a top footballer in the future. Main did it, but how? There is so much darkness on the football field that is not well understood. He grew, but he was no longer as unbridled as he used to be. Because he was afraid that he would be hurt because he was targeted, that the darkness would not be punished. He has been playing depressed and worried that he will lose the game because of himself. In short, he was in pain. But he was lucky enough to meet Jiang Ning and play on the field where he was the main penalty. Maybe in the future, he will have a hard chance to meet the Jiang Ning referee penalty game. But for Main, one time is enough, because the impact Jiang Ning brought to him was not just this game, but let him find his former self. Oh? This answer really made me a little unbelievable. I'm sure many fans and friends will be surprised. The reporter looked surprised. You know, Main is very expensive and has a lot of fans. Such a star, but sincerely expressing his gratitude to a referee? And this referee is still from Huaxia. From a Huaxia who is not even qualified for the national team to enter the World Cup. Judge Jiang Ning is the most professional and fair judge I have ever seen. Because of him, I dared to face the foul on the other side. In football, more presences like him are needed, and I will continue to pay attention to the referee Jiang Ning, hoping to have the opportunity to cooperate with him again. Main said, not forgetting to look at Jiang Ning, who was taking notes on the sidelines, his eyes full of respect. The camera immediately followed Main's gaze, giving Jiang Ning, and also giving fans around the world a deeper understanding of the importance of Jiang Ning. Jiang Ning is from Huaxia, and many fans originally had some prejudice and contempt for him, but after 2 games and multiple accurate judgments, they put away the contempt in their hearts. Many fans couldn't help but extend their thumbs to Jiang Ning. The referee from Huaxia is amazing. The same thing as me, and the name of the Bashi team. On the pitch, he also played very depressingly. He was targeted more excessively. His means were dirtier. I admire him and sympathize with him at the same time. I hope he will also have the opportunity to run once in the Jiang Ning referee enforcement arena like me. I believe that the decision of the referee Jiang Ning will not disappoint him, and can bring him strength. Come on that Marler. Main was thrilled when he said this. Don't forget to pat his chest with his right hand. Meanwhile, in the hotel where the players of the Bashi team rest, Na Marl saw this scene through the live broadcast, and his eyes were also shining with hope. He stayed in front of the screen the whole time in this game. Jiang Ning's punishment touched his heart fiercely. Hopefully, I can be like you. Nemo looked at the TV screen and muttered to himself. He was so unfair on the pitch that he was very disappointed with the existing referee. But through this ball, I saw this different referee, this referee from Huaxia. How good it would be if he could meet such a referee to enforce the law. He also wanted to enjoy a ball game to his heart's content. At this time, in the Huaxia live broadcast room, the barrage is constantly refreshing. It's over. Brother Ning's fans have increased again. Jimei, we need to unite. Brother Ning, will there be a game next? I still want to see him. Brothers, I'm going to buy a ticket. If nothing else, just to go to Karl country, to watch the Ningga law enforcement competition. Let Brother Ning know that he is not alone. Our Huaxia fans have always been there. Brother Ning has become the savior of Seneca country, and he has also given us Huaxia people a bad breath. Who dares to say that we Huaxia people can't do it? Chinese. On this night, referee Jiang Ning became the hottest topic in China. Whether they watch the ball or not, they have heard about Jiang Ning in the World Cup from various channels. Huaxia TV station fell into a busy state. The deputy director rushed into the studio with a large stack of materials in his hand. Can anyone tell me why I've never reported on the Jiang Ning referee before? Now not only Huaxia, but the whole world is talking about him. Even the foreign media have more information in their hands than us. What are you doing? Hurry up, hurry up. I don't care what method you use, immediately arrange for me to do a special program of Jiang Ning judge. This is tens of millions of heat. Our Huaxia TV ratings have reached the peak of this year. All cheer me up. In fact, there is no need for Huaxia TV to do any special programs, and the deeds about Jiang Ning have already rushed to the hot search. The power of Huaxia fans is unimaginable, and Jiang Ning's highlight moments in the World Cup arena have been recorded and told each other. He made a fair and just judgment on the field, successfully got out of the circle, rushed to the hot search list, and occupied 4 positions in the top 10. Hot search 7th. The hardcore referee of the World Cup. From Huaxia, Jiang Card Messenger, the man chosen by the light Ning, burst. Hot search 5th. Jiang Ning turned into a card master to kill crazy in the World Cup. Burst. Hot search 4th. The unknown darkness on the football field, Jiang Ning is the only light. Burst. Hot search number 1. The most fair referee of the World Cup, Ma Ning, the strength of the motherland and the empty stadium behind it give enough confidence. Burst. The hot search list of the neck is a list that is difficult for many stars to spend a lot of money, but on this day, Jiang Ning alone had 4 articles. Why? Because Jiang Ning is the only referee in Huaxia who has appeared on the World Cup stage. Huaxia fans have always been very humiliated because of the Huaxia national football team and can't raise their heads. This time, they took a vicious breath, and the penalty in the World Cup of Jiang Ning Tsai is really impeccable and has been recognized by the majority of fans. The existence of Jiang Ning turned into a hurricane and swept through China. After the match, Jiang Ning, led by Olia, returned to the referee's exclusive hotel to rest. What he didn't know was that at this time, a Jiang Ning craze had been set off in Huaxia. Countless fans have formed a new group and called themselves Ning fans. It is also worth mentioning that Brother Huaxia was exposed to a piece of news at this time. Brother Huaxia, who once threatened to never go to the scene to watch the game again, was exposed overnight to buy a ticket to Karl country and went to the World Cup site. After this news was broken, Brother Huaxia also came back as soon as possible. He said, "Yes, I once said that I would not go to the World Cup, but now it's different. We have a Jiang Ning referee. He is the pride of our Chinese people. I have to personally go to the scene to cheer for Ningga. I went to Karl country, just for Brother Ning." Brother Huaxia's response immediately won the praise of the majority of Huaxia fans and expressed their support. And some capable fans have also followed the pace of returning money and organized a group to go to the Karl World Cup. If nothing else, just to go to the scene to feel the feeling of Jiang Ning controlling the arena up close. Episode 37. Just when Jiang Ning had just finished the game. Inside a villa in Huaxia, Wu Jin looked at the live broadcast screen in front of him excitedly, until Jiang Ning's figure disappeared into the camera. He was willing to look away. At this time, Xianan came out of the room wearing pajamas. "Why don't you sleep in the middle of the night?" "I'm watching the World Cup." Wu Jin pointed to the TV and smiled happily, looking very good. "Watch the World Cup? It's so late, can't you get up tomorrow to watch the replay? You think you're still a young man, so stay up late and don't stay up." Xianan glanced at him with some reproach and urged him to hurry back to his room to rest. I can tell you, this World Cup is different. It is worth watching. It is very exciting." Wu Jin said proudly. "What's so wonderful? Our Huaxia football team is not eligible to participate. What's the point of watching other countries play around? Although Xianan does not watch the ball, he knows Huaxia football. Huaxia football is really a shame, with such a high salary, cannot even enter the group stage, is not a shame. What's the point of watching foreign players kick around? If the Huaxia team can go in, she will definitely stay up late to watch. You don't understand that, do you? I tell you, although our Huaxia football team didn't go in, our Huaxia referee went. His name is Jiang Ning, and he is also the representative of the referee in the entire Asian region, which is the pride of our Huaxia. Don't you see, his style in the arena is iron-blooded enough, grandfather-in-law, domineering enough, and I like him very much. This is a Huaxia man, much stronger than those women in the entertainment industry now. I should really let those showbiz girls come to see what a man should look like. Wu Jin's eyes were full of appreciation. Obviously, he stayed up late to watch the game, and he also went to Jiang Ning. Oh? I didn't pay attention to that, but even you praise his words, which shows that this Jiang Ning must be quite a man. Okay, you've seen it, now hurry back to your room and sleep. Next time there is his game to call me. I want to see how different this referee is. Yes, Commander Xia. Wu Jin immediately made a standing saluting gesture, and then walked into the room with standard military steps. Xianan looked at Wu Jin's appearance and couldn't help laughing. That night, Wu Jin also sent out a bib. Stay up late to watch the ball, just to support our Jiangning referee. Come on Jiangning, come on Huaxia, don't have any worries, say hello when you need me. I support you, at Jiangning, just 5 minutes. Wu Jin's bib was quickly retweeted by hundreds of thousands of people, with more than 10,000 comments. The comments are all shouting, Wu Jin has reached the critical moment. Please wear camouflage clothes and protect me Huaxia Jiangning. On this night, Jiangning became the most eye-catching new star in Huaxia, and all this is unknown to Jiangning. After saying goodbye to Oria, he locked the door to the lounge. After completing the second game, the system's reminder came. Congratulations to the host for completing the penalty for a World Cup event. The host completes the task of promoting positive energy, and after the system tests, the punishment is fair and rigorous, and 2,000 fair points are rewarded. DDDD. Congratulations to the host for getting an extra 5,000 fair points. Fair point balance, 7,000 points. Jiang Ning's eyes lit up, and after the last match, he had received a total of 7,000 fair points. This game is still 7,000 points. The previous 7,000 points have been spent, and the attribute point +5 and the skill Eagle's Eye have been extracted. Attribute point +5 was added by him to control the field, which also made his decisions in this game more accurate and smooth. As for the skill, the Eagle's Eye is even more of a punishment artifact. When Heilongguo maliciously collided with Maine before, it was precisely because of the existence of the skill Eagle Eye that he could accurately find out the loopholes in the opposing defender's line of sight. Otherwise, he may not really be able to produce strong evidence. If the foul is not awarded, maybe the result of the game will be rewritten, and he should not get the additional reward of the system. The lottery pool has been activated. Will the lottery be held immediately? Draw immediately. This time I will draw the senior first. DDDD. The advanced draw is underway. Congratulations to the host. Get the skill, Master Shooting Technique. Unlock the attribute bar. Jiang Ning's eyes lit up. Master Shooting Technique? Good. Jiang Ning nodded in satisfaction, although it did not help his judgment much. He was a referee and was also a football lover. He is also excited to have this kind of skill in his body. Properties panel. Stamina, 90. Speed, 90. Field of view, 80. Field control ability, 85. Master Shooting Technique, 85. Soon, the system gave the panel properties of Jiangning today. Obviously, this newly acquired skill is growth, so it will enter the panel properties. And at the beginning, it has 85 points, directly reaching the level of professional players in the 5 major leagues. Does the host continue to draw the lottery? Jiang Ning did not hesitate. Continue. Primary lottery. The primary lottery is in progress. Congratulations to the host. Get attribute points, +5 allocation points, which can be freely assigned to any attribute. Jiang Ning was overjoyed. He really wanted to come from something. Attribute points, +5 again. This immediately sent him 5 points, so wouldn't he be able to directly reach 90 points? With his previous experience, he is well aware of the changes brought about by the 5-point attribute points, which can be said to be earth-shaking. Do you want to assign attribute points now? Assign to a Master Shooting Technique. DDDD. Congratulations to the host. Attribute point allocation has been completed. Properties panel. Stamina, 90. Speed, 90. Field of view, 80. Field control ability, 85. Master Shooting Technique, 90. Good. A flash of excitement flashed in Jiang Ning's eyes. If it weren't for the fact that the referee couldn't go out at will during the World Cup, he would have wanted to find a football stadium to try it now. However, this is also for the fairness of the competition. Jiang Ning is naturally understandable, and is willing to respect the arrangements of the organizer. At the end of the day, Jiang Ning took a comfortable bath in the hotel, and then slowly went to sleep. The next game will become more and more intense, and we look forward to the next game enforcement. Episode 38. It wasn't until the next day that Oria came knocking on the door that Jiang Ning woke up. Good morning, referee Jiang Ning. According to the results of the second round of the draw, there will be a match in the afternoon for you to referee. Sakura Country versus Costa Country. Jiang Ning nodded and didn't say anything more. Which game he referees is decided by drawing lots. And for him, it doesn't matter which game the referee plays between the two teams, he will treat them equally. In the afternoon, Jiang Ning finished cleaning up and went to Shaohe Stadium under the leadership of Oria. Jiang Ning will also be here, the referee of the third World Cup match. This time the draw was also interesting, because it was a competition in Sakura country. The relationship between the cherry blossom country and China is precipitated by history, which is also a well-known fact. So when the organizer announced that Jiang Ning would referee this game, it immediately attracted the attention of the majority of fans. Not only the fans on both sides of the game and the fans of Huaxia, but also the eyes of other parts of the world are focused here. After all, Jiang Ning's 2 previous game penalties were very professional and impeccable. They also wanted to see if Jiang Ning's punishment could still ensure fairness when facing the Sakura country. This game focused a lot of attention, among which there were many fans who wanted to see Jiang Ning. And the two teams are also very interesting today. First of all, the Sakura national team. The head coach of the Sakura national team is named Hoichi Mori, an extremely egotistical person who is very good at using tactics. In the last match of the Sakura nation team, they played against the King's Division Chariot Nation team. Originally thinking that the Sakura national team would lose, Mori Hoichi used tactics to cleverly defeat the Chariot national team and burst into a big upset. In that game, head coach Kazuki Moriho hid the 3 shooters of the Sakura national team and adopted a swing bus defensive method, which will consume a lot of the physical strength of the Chariot national team. So throughout the first half, Sakura had a record of only 1 shot. What is a swing bus? That is, all the players except for the 2 strikers are concentrated in front of their own goals and strictly defended. Therefore, even in the face of the indiscriminate bombardment of the tank national team, it still barely maintained the draw situation. However, in the second half, Mori Hoichi made a substitution. With the huge physical exertion of the Chariot country team, 3 Sakura country shooter players were replaced. 5 forwards rushed to the front, putting extreme pressure on the 4 defenders of the Chariot nation. This is Mori Hoichi's so-called 5-on-4 tactic. In the end, with such a tactic, the Sakura national team burst out of the big upset and won 3 points with a 1-goal advantage. For this reason, Sakura country celebrated from top to bottom, and Mori Hoichi also said in a post-match interview that this tactic was finally completed by him after years of painstaking research. So currently in the group stage, Sakura country has a huge advantage in qualifying, and the situation is very clear. The Sakura country players are very relaxed. After all, today's opponent is Costa country. In their eyes, Costa is fish belly. Fish belly is a jargon in football, generally used to refer to weaker teams. The so-called fish belly naturally means to be slaughtered. In the eyes of the players of Sakura country, it is easy to defeat Costa country, and as long as they can win this match, then Sakura can ensure that they qualify in the group stage and reach the round of 16 of this World Cup. So, before the competition has even begun, the whole of Sakura country has already begun to celebrate. They think it's a game without suspense. Why? Because there are a total of 32 participating teams in this World Cup. Costa ranked 31st, second to last. If this can still be lost, what else will the Sakura national team play? On the other hand, look at the Costa national team. Their last match, lost 7-0 to Western Hemiga. As the fish belly of this World Cup, this game deserves to be lost. It's just that the score of 0-7 is really a bit spicy to the eye. The Sakura national team, who learned the news, smiled even more. This kind of weak brigade wins without pressure. Moriho looked proud, wearing a black suit and crossing his waist to the stadium early. He came early to feel the cheers of the fans, because he thinks that at least half of the cheers here are shouted at him. He is the hero and savior of the Sakura country team, and has become a godlike existence in the hearts of countless Sakura country fans. This time in the World Cup, Sakura national team has the strongest squad in history. Of the 26-man squad announced, 20 of them will play in major European leagues. They are good at playing 433 and 4,321 formations, a 4-back system, and a solid defensive line. In particular, several of the main defenders have good technique at their feet, dribbling and movement awareness are very online. On the front line, there are 3 strikers Maeda Dairan, Soma Nagaji, and Takumi Minamino, who are very lethal. However, the biggest problem with the Sakura national team is that they are generally shorter in height. For example, Maeda Dairan and Takumi Minamino are only 173 centimeters tall, of which Soma Eiji is only 165 centimeters. This is a fatal drawback compared to the high-ranking Costa country. And here in Costa country, although they are the fish belly in this World Cup, this fish belly is also relatively speaking. After all, just like the Huaxia men's football team, it doesn't even qualify for the World Cup. The population of Costa is only 5 million, but it has more than 200,000 registered players. The domestic football atmosphere is excellent, which is why such a small country can enter the World Cup. Their strength lies in their physicality and their defensive solidity, especially a couple of defenders. Among them, there are extremely fast and good foot skills responsible for grappling and defense, and there are tall ones who are mainly responsible for air defense. Their forwards are right winger Jerson, left winger Brian, and forward Anthony. Huaxia's referee? Amusing. This game can be easily won by our Sakura national team. Don't try to find anything wrong with us. If you dare to target my Sakura national team, I will definitely complain to you and get the World Football Federation to expel you as a referee. Mori Hoichi looked at Jiang Ning, who was ready on the sidelines, and showed a sneer. Episode 39, Huaxia Studio. This is the live broadcast of the Group H match in the second round of the Carl World Cup 22. What will bring you is the match between Sakura Country and Costa Country. I'm today's commentator Jiang Wei. Jiang Wei. In addition, the guest we invited today is still my old partner teacher Fan Ziyi. Fan Ziyi. Hello everyone, I'm Fan Ziyi. It's nice to meet everyone. Jiang Wei, Director Fan, I remember that in the original guest list, this game was originally not for you to explain, right? Fan Ziyi, that's right. I took the initiative to apply after the organizer announced Jiang Ning as the referee of this competition. I like this young man. Jiang Wei, oh? It seems that Director Fan still remembers Jiang Ning's penalty in the last game. Fan Ziyi, Jiang Ning is our Huaxia referee, and it is my honor to be able to accompany everyone to watch his referee's match. Jiang Wei, yes, Jiang Ning now has a high popularity in China and even the whole world. Jiang Wei, I see that many friends in the live broadcast room today also came to judge Jiang Ning, right? Fan Ziyi, of course. Especially this match with Sakura Country, if Jiang Ning is cut, it should be more interesting. Jiang Wei, then Director Fan, what do you think of this game? Fan Ziyi, Sakura Country defeated Chariot Country in the last round, and now the qualification situation is clear. Fan Ziyi, so they will definitely try to get 3 points in this game to ensure the qualification situation. Fan Ziyi, and Costa Country lost 0:7 to the western half of the kingdom in the last game. Fan Ziyi, this game is also their life and death battle. Fan Ziyi, if they lose to Sakura Country today, it will be regarded as withdrawing from the World Cup stage. Fan Ziyi, so I think that the Costa Kingdom may bring us surprises under the back of the war. Jiang Wei, then Director Fan thinks that the head coach of Sakura Country, Mori Hoichi, will adopt the previous swing bus tactic today? Fan Ziyi, most likely, not. Fan Ziyi, after all, if the same tactic is used twice, it will not work. Fan Ziyi, and if the Costa Country still adopts the swing bus tactic, then the Sakura Country really doesn't want to face. Jiang Wei, okay, thanks to Director Fan's analysis, let's see what the fans are saying in the live broadcast room. At this time, the live broadcast room already has more than 10 million viewers. Jiang Ning's match to enforce the Cherry Blossom Country undoubtedly made Huaxia fans very excited. Brother Ning, I'm here again. Do you know how long I waited for the game to start? Do you know? Today let Sakura Country know how powerful our Huaxia people are. Although the team can't qualify, but the referee is here. With Brother Ning here, who dares to make a small move? Give cards to cards, I see who dares to disobey. Laughing, when was Brother Ning's punishment polite? Brother Ning, be polite to the Cherry Blossom Country. The fans of Huaxia support you, although you are tough. If something happens, I will ask Brother Jing to come and save you. Ha ha ha. Brother Jing also sent a Weibo yesterday to support Brother Ning. What are you afraid of? If something happens, the red passport will be taken out, and Brother Jing will arrive immediately. Xiaohe Stadium. The fans are all in place. Players from both sides also slowly walked onto the pitch amid applause. Jiang Ning came with the referee team and stood among the players on both sides. After singing the national anthem, the pre-match handshake ceremony began. After Jiang Ning's yellow card to Sun Mingxing before, all the players did not dare to have any contempt. This is not just a game for referee Jiang Ning. The players of the other games did not dare to show any dissatisfaction in this link. I am afraid that the referee will learn Jiang Ning to directly pull out the cards. After the handshake ceremony, the players from both sides set up their formations and waited for the game to begin. After checking the time with the assistant referee, Jiang Ning raised his hand high and blew the whistle. Beep. The competition has officially begun. Sakura national team's possession. Judging from their starting lineup, it is clear that Mori Hoichi no longer intends to use the swing bus tactic, but is ready to fire at full range. All three shooters were in front of each other in a 433 formation. On the other hand, Costa Country, after the whistle of the game sounded, did not choose to step forward to press the ball. In the shocked eyes of the fans, the players of Costa Country actually began to slowly retreat. Swing the bus. They actually learned from the Sakura national team and adopted the tortoise shrinking tactic to hold the defense line to the death. Exactly the same tactics, exactly the same purpose. More importantly, Costa Country's physical fitness are higher than those of the Sakura national team. If they put up the bus, the physical fitness of the Sakura national team in the second half of the game will become a fatal problem. No face. What do you mean? This is copying my tactics. The head coach of Sakura Nation was extremely corrupt on the sidelines. Judging from the corners of his crooked mouth, he was really angry. The reason why he was so angry was because he also had no way to crack this tactic. Now we can only hope that the Sakura national team's forward firepower can tear the opponent's defense. Maeda of the Sakura national team held the ball and stood on the left flank looking for an opportunity, but at a glance, it is densely packed with people. Can't find a chance at all. It's disgusting. Maeda couldn't help but curse, but he forgot that in the last round, they used such a means to deal with the Chariot national team. Sakura people are like this. When they do the same thing themselves, they are justified, but when others do it, they can criticize others from the moral high ground. Colloquially known no face. Boom. Maeda tried to pass the ball to the middle. However, because Costa is well staffed in the penalty area, it is difficult for the Sakura national team to pick up after the football is landed. Almost all the football had just passed in and was destroyed by the defenders of Costa country. Once, twice, or 3 times, the Sakura nation's attack was unsuccessful. The game had just begun, and it seemed to be at an impasse. However, at this time, Sakura team Soma Eiji finally got into the restricted area with the cover of his teammates. Although he is only 165 centimeters tall, he is smart enough. That's why he's able to secure his starting forward position. Maeda's eyes lit up, and he passed the ball accurately through the defense of the Costa players. Soma Eiji immediately raised his foot to catch the ball, adjusted his pace, and volleyed vigorously. Shout, football should be on the net. The ball went in. Thank you all for the flowers, evaluation tickets, monthly passes, reminders, and tips. Seeing that everyone is so supportive of the little brother, I will give everyone a blast today. Episode 40. Swish, football on the net. The ball went in. The fans of Sakura country jumped up excitedly and celebrated wildly. In less than 10 minutes of the first half, he successfully broke the opponent's goal. Costa is indeed a fish belly. At this moment, the fans of Sakura country believe that they must be able to qualify in the group stage and reach the top 16. Their confidence is strong, because throughout the history of the Sakura national team, he has also played against the Costa national team many times. But the Sakura national team has never lost. This is a very weighty factual basis. However, just as they were celebrating their goal, a whistle stunned them. Beep. Jiang Ning whistled and signaled offside. What? Impossible. Soma Eiji spread his hands and showed an incredulous look. He's a very conscious striker. At the moment when Maeda passed the ball, he paid attention to his position. It is impossible to be offside. At this time, the linesman also raised the small flag in his hand with some hesitation. To be honest, he didn't see it clearly. This is not his problem, but there are too many people in the forbidden area of the Costa Kingdom, and it is too chaotic. And judging by his expertise, the ball should not be offside, which is why he did not raise the flag. But after Jiang Ning blew the whistle, he instantly became a little uncertain. And Jiang Ning's accurate judgment in the previous 2 games also knows it. So at this time, he chose to believe Jiang Ning and raised the flag. Wow. The fans at the scene made a voice of dissatisfaction. Hard-won goals, just blown off? And it was a referee from Huaxia who blew off this ball? In an instant, the fans of Sakura country were not happy. In the eyes of the heart, they do not recognize Huaxia, and naturally, they will not recognize the referee from Huaxia. Referee, this ball is not offside. The linesman did not raise the flag at the beginning. Are you targeting us because we are from Sakura country? If I wasn't offside, I need you to solemnly apologize to us. Black whistle. I have reason to believe that you are targeting our Sakura team, Yaga. After hearing the discontent of the fans, Soma Eiji immediately came to the spirit. He thought about it. The linesman didn't raise the flag just now. This shows that he is not offside. It is clearly targeted. Huaxia people, really despicable. This blowing penalty must be targeted. 100% black whistle. Therefore, his confidence instantly rose, and he said something demanding Jiang Ning's apology. In the World Cup, have the most cutting-edge and perfect VAR technology in the world. As long as he fights hard, he can not only retrieve this ball, but also rub Jiang Ning's sharp chi fiercely. Apologize? Jiang Ning's eyes froze, and he stared at Soma Yongji with a cold expression. In football, the referee symbolizes authority. Threatening the referee and asking the referee to apologize is quite serious. This is tantamount to provoking the authority of all the judges. To be honest, even if Jiang Ning misjudged, the players were absolutely not allowed to say such things as asking the referee to apologize. This is the majesty of the referee in football. Although it may sound unreasonable, it must be emphasized. Because in the arena, the referee must maintain such majesty. If everyone is dissatisfied and comes up to ask the referee to apologize, what authority does the referee have? Who will obey the referee's decision? You're questioning my sentence and threatening me? After speaking, Jiang Ning took out the yellow card from his chest pocket. Wow, the audience was in an uproar. The fans don't know what Soma Yongji said to Jiang Ning. They only saw Soma Eiji step forward to theorize, but they were directly shown a yellow card. What does that mean? Protests are not allowed? Huaxia judges are better than judges from other countries? Black whistle. Definitely targeting our cherry blossom country. We ask for a change of referee. At this time, Mora Hoichi on the sidelines was also angry. Originally, because Costa country put the bus, he was already very unhappy. Now I finally scored a goal, but it was blown off by Jiang Ning. His own player stepped forward to express dissatisfaction, but he received a yellow card. Too much deception. Be at the end of one's forbearance. The Huaxia referee is targeting our cherry blossom country. A fool can see it. Showing a yellow card when you protest forward. Is this treating the World Cup match as their low-level match in Huaxia? Give me an explanation. Otherwise I must complain, even all of your referee team. Mora Hoichi, who was already floating, naturally couldn't sit still, and rushed to the 4th official, to complain in anger. At this time, in the Huaxia studio, Jiang Wei, audience friends, there is a controversy at the scene. Jiang Wei, Sakura national team striker Soma Yongji went to find Jiang Ning theory, but was shown a yellow card warning by Jiang Ning. Jiang Wei, director fan, this is not common in the arena, right? Fan Z, it's normal that the blowing penalty of this ball just now is controversial. Fan Z, if it's just a theory, it shouldn't be enough to give cards. At this time, Fan Z also frowned, a little unsure. Jiang Wei, but Jiang Ning directly pulled out the cards, isn't it too serious? Fan Z, I don't know. Fan Z, however, we still have to choose to believe Jiang Ning. Fan Z, at least find out whether the ball just now is offside. Huaxiao live broadcast room. The barrage is rapidly refreshing. Brother Ning is ruthless enough. That's what Sakura Country is going to do, you're welcome, but that seems a bit too heavy, right? It's not that I don't believe Brother Ning, but this may be used as a handle, right? Brother Ning, if you want to give the Sakura Country a horsepower, don't be so obvious, it's easy to suffer losses. We said what's wrong with you guys? When was Ning's penalty missed? After so many times, you still don't believe Brother Ning? Has Brother Ning let us down? At this time, in the playing field, the dissatisfaction of the fans of Sakura Country grew louder and deafening. Especially after seeing Soma Yongji eat a yellow card, he cursed even more. The support of the fans undoubtedly gave the players of the Sakura national team confidence, and they all stepped forward to ask Jiang Ning to give an explanation. Jiang Ning did not speak, his expression was still calm. At this time, the video referee has also replayed the goal process of Soma Yongji just now, and made a video cross-section. Hiss. After the picture was played, the fans of Sakura Country suddenly grew their mouths in surprise. It turned out to be a player from Costa Country. Soma Ag opened his mouth, as if he had swallowed a cockroach alive, because at the moment when the ball was passed, he was originally not offside. However, at the same time, the last defender of Costa Country ran forward 2 steps,